Well, good morning and welcome again to another podcast, Down to Earth but Heavenly Minded. I'm your host, Irv Risch, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about gold and silver and is it really good to have it to use even for money? And I'm going to answer some of these questions that you might have. I was doing some research and looking on some facts on the internet to try to find out what seems to be going on. And there's a lot of videos out there, of course, about the banks failing. I had my last podcast, I kind of talked about that and what the churches should be doing with their money. And I myself have been buying silver. I don't buy gold, and the reason I don't is I'm not a rich man, and I don't really care to be rich. Uh, I just want enough to survive and support my family. And my family right now consists of myself and my wife. We're elderly. We live on a fixed income, and it's kind of hard to make ends meet when you only have a fixed income coming in. I do have a little side income, but it's so small that I don't even rely on it that much. I do have a few dollars in savings for emergencies that come up. I needed to have a tree taken down, and my house needs a new roof, and I had to replace my furnace, and just the average things that most people run into in life. And right now, with the cost of living and everything going up, especially groceries, I don't travel as much as I used to, so I'm not burning fuel, but my bill to heat my house this past winter has doubled. And most people are really feeling the crunch. And I'm not here to talk so much about politics, but it has a lot to do with our government and the way they're spending money. And I know that certain ones get in office and they just spend, 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 and want to tax everybody. And the whole thing is, there's the revenue for taxes have dropped uh, from the income from people that are not working. Of course, we use unemployment in welfare and all these different subsidies. And they always say that, like the government is really doing me a favor, giving me Social Security. They don't realize I paid Social Security from day one, and I paid a lot into Social Security in my life. I've always seemed to work. A few times that I wasn't, I it wasn't for a long period of time, and I was back to work, so I paid my share. Well, I'd like to talk to you a little bit, first of all, about money before I get into gold and silver. Money is a good definition for money is something that we use to buy and sell, to pay our bills and so forth. Well, I can remember, I don't remember back in 1878, but that's actually when they started using what they called silver certificates. The money was backed by silver and gold. They did not just print money. There was a substance. It was like uh, if you if you had $1,000, you had either $1,000 in silver or gold to back that money. But it was in 1964. Now, I mean, There's probably a lot of us out here that remember 1964, except for the young ones that weren't born yet. But in 1964, they took the silver certificates out of circulation. In fact, they even made it unlawful to have them. They were not backed by silver anymore, so they had to get them off the market. And I remember the big push to get them off, and people wanted to save them. In fact, I think there's still people have silver certificates. And are they worth anything? Well, I don't. I'm not a collector, so I don't really know. But I think it was in 1935, 36. They were worth the value of silver when they first came out with them. Back in 1878 when they came out with them. But in 1935, $1 silver certificate in uncirculated condition. If you had a brand new one, never circulated, what they call an MS-68 grade, was valued at about $300. That's because the silver had gone up, and other reasons too. I don't know if it was 1935. I think it was 1935. I wasn't born yet. I was born at 38. Now, how much is the 1935 silver certificate worth today? Well, would you believe that it's about $15,000? And that's a fair price. Yeah, mostly because it's a collector's, but because of the value of it. Now you can see why the government wanted to get them off the market, because they weren't backed by anything. And they quit backing that up, like I said, back in 1964. So I don't want to keep going on about the silver certificate, but I'd like to just talk to you a little bit about something that's really not that valuable, and that is a 1943 steel penny. You see, during the war, they wanted to save copper for shells for the big guns in the war, and that was in the Second World War. They had put out the copper penny, and I'm trying to think when it came. I think it was 1942. Congress approved the 1 cent coin that would be to conserve copper. That's the reason they did it. And the mint selected a zinc-coated steel as a substitute material. And steel pennies saved enough copper to manufacture 1.25 million shells for American big field guns during the wartime. So that's just a little history on our money. Now, talking about gold and silver. Right now, I'm looking at the U.S. debt clock, and if you're interested in checking it out for yourself, it's usdebtclock, all one word, .org. And you could look it up on the internet yourself. But the dollar to oil ratio is at 0 per barrel, and the dollar to oil ratio in 1913 was $2.24 per barrel. So you see that your money was worth something then. And now, looking at it for silver, it's at 0 right now per ounce. But back in 1913, it was $2.68 per ounce. And, it's fairly close to that right now. I think the last time I bought silver was about $2 and $2.38, something like that, an ounce. And now the ratio to gold is at zero also today. And back in 1913, it was at $28.20 per ounce. Well, that's jumping like crazy right now. Gold on the 6th of March today had jumped $200 an ounce. That's because people are pulling their money out of the banks and buying gold, and it's forcing the price to go up. Now, do I say go out and buy gold? That's your choice. I would talk to an advisor. I'm not buying gold right now. First of all, I can't afford it. I don't have the money to buy gold, but I do invest some of my savings in silver, because silver is something that you can use as money. It's if you got a 1 ounce coin, you can exchange that for whatever the market value happens to be, 20 some dollars an ounce right now. So it's kind of a backup to our currency. Because if the banks fail, you better have a backup. And we don't know. They're moving pretty fast. Now, I listen to some of the podcasters out there that say that your money is going to drop. It's not going to be worth anything. And when the banks do fail, there's going to be a lot of people losing a lot of money. So it's something to think about. Now, the dollar to crypto. I'm not into crypto. My son has bought some. I haven't. But that's a pretty good ratio. It's about almost $20 to 1. So you got $19.28 worth of crypto for every dollar that you have. So some people are buying and selling cryptos, just like they buy and sell stocks. Now, I would talk to a advisor before I made any decisions on what I would do with buying gold and silver. But right now, my feelings are buy silver. Now, is silver and gold? You hear this gold versus silver. Which is a better investment? Well, it boils down to this, that gold is actually the better. But overall, if you're looking to invest your money in precious metals, whether it's platinum or gold or silver or even jewels or anything that has a tangible value, your return, as far as if you're going to make interest on it, if you're going to make money on it. Now, there are some people that dabble in the market that want to buy and sell things for a profit. I'm not trying to make money. All I'm trying to do is secure my money. And to me, these avenues are good security, but they're not an investment to try to make money. Oh, you might end up making a little, or might make up, might even lose a little. But the fact is, I have something that is of value when the dollar just isn't worth anything at all. And it's getting pretty close to that right now. I know that if you look at gold versus silver and long-term returns, it's not that great. Like in 1925, I guess the price of gold was around $20.63 an ounce. And by the end of 2020, an ounce of gold was $1,893.66. So over the past 95-year period, you actually had a return of only 4.87%. And that would be compound annually. So you see, it's not really an investment to make money. It's just an investment to secure your money that you have. And anybody will tell you that to buy gold and silver is a good thing if you know that the economy is gonna plummet and your dollar's not going to be worth anything. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today. I know that it's not a spiritual thing, but the Lord wants us to be wise as serpents and as gentle as doves. So we want to do is we want to secure what the Lord has given us. And this is even personal, because how am I to help others if I don't have anything to help myself? Well, that boils down to another subject, maybe for another podcast. Should we store up things on earth? Well, according to the Bible, there was people that did it, and the Lord said they were foolish. They said, did you know, to that farmer that filled his barns full of all kinds of grain, and then he said, I'll sit back and ease. And the Lord said, you fool, don't you know your soul is required of you that very day? We live for the future, but our future is with the Lord in heaven. So even though we're down to earth, let's keep our minds in heaven and keep them on heavenly things. And that's kind of how I want to end my podcast. I don't want to have you thinking that I have my mind on gold and silver. And all I'm looking at is just to protect myself and others and my family. And also, I have my children and grandchildren, and I advise them to do the same thing. So with that said, I'm kind of losing my voice. I need some coffee. I'm going to leave you now. Till next time, bye for now.